Knees are bent, if that feels comfortable for you, or you can extend the legs out and come into your corpse pose. I've just walked my feet out a little bit and I'm allowing my knees to fall in together. And the palms of the hands can face the ceiling. Just a few easy breaths here. Just allowing yourself to settle down to the mat. And if you find your thoughts in your mind drifting without judgment, just bring it back to the breath. And keep the awareness on the breath flowing in and out of the nose. Just a few more rounds here. And then just slowly start to deepen the breath. And if your legs are long and extended, just slowly start to soften the knees, slide the heels in so the feet are flat on the floor, and slowly start to circle the ankle. Keep that upper body nice and relaxed. And slowly change direction. Slowly release that right leg, float it back down to the floor. Slowly hug the left leg in. Slowly start to circle the left ankle. Upper body's relaxed. Slowly change direction. Slowly release the hands, float the leg back down to the floor. Feet about hip width apart. Eyes can be open or closed. And just check that the hips are level, the lower back's in neutral, so you're not overly arching that back or pressing the lower back down to the floor. Pelvis is in neutral. So if you're at a spirit level going from hip bone to hip bone, the bubble will be in the middle. Gently draw the lower ribs in towards the center line to activate the core. Shoulders are relaxed. Squeeze the glutes to activate those glutes, and then slowly lift the hips and come into a low bridge, about an inch, maybe half an inch off the floor. Check that the weight's even through both feet. Check that the glutes are activated, so you can have a little prod with your fingers if you need to. Upper body's relaxed. Glutes are activated, core's activated. And on your next exhale, slowly allow the hips to float back down towards the floor and relax. Take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, gently activate the core. Nice long inhale. And on your next exhale, allow the hips to float off the floor. Check that the glutes are activated. Weight even on both feet. And then slowly float the arms off the floor up. Maybe the fingertips are pointing up towards the ceiling. Palms can face the knees, or they can palms can face each other. A few deep breaths here. Check that the hips are level. Pelvis is in neutral. Glutes are still activated. Slowly float the arms back down towards the floor. Slowly lift both heels off the floor so you're on the balls of your feet. Hips are level. Pelvis in neutral. Slowly bring the heels back down towards the floor. Slowly lower the hips down towards the floor. Hold it there. Nice long inhale. As you exhale, activate the core. And then slowly float the hips off the floor and then float the arms off the floor so the fingertips point up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, slowly lower the arms and the hips back down towards the floor. Core's activated, float the hips and arms off the floor. Fingertips point up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, lower down. Inhale, float up. Exhale, lower down. Check that the core's activated and the glutes. Exhale, lower down. Last one, inhale all the way up. Keep the hips where they are. As you exhale, float the arms back down. Check that the glutes are activated, the core still activated. Weight even down through both feet. Slowly bring both heels off the floor. Check in with the breath. Last inhale. Nice long easy exhale. Slowly lower the heels to the floor. Slowly lower the hips to the floor. Float the right knee up, float the left knee up so they're in line with the hips. Both feet are off the floor. Place the hands on the knees. I'm going to circle the knees together, hip circles. Gently massaging that lower back. Nice and slow. One more, and then just slowly change direction. Back to center, float the right foot down, the left foot down, release the arms. Activate the core, leg floats. Take a nice deep breath in, float the right foot off the floor so the right knee's in line with the right hip. As you exhale, lower the right foot down. Core's activated, float the left foot off the floor, aiming for the left knee to be in line with the left hip. Don't worry if it's not. And exhale, float it down. Inhale, right. Exhale, right. Inhale, left. Exhale, left. Inhale, right. Exhale, right. Inhale, left. Exhale, left. One more each side. Inhale, right. Exhale, right. Inhale, left. Exhale, left. You can carry on with your leg floats. If not, you can float the right foot off the floor, left foot off the floor. Check that the core's activated. Toe taps. So exhale, right. Inhale, up. Exhale, left. So carry on in your own time. Check that the upper body is relaxed. Keep it slow and controlled. Two more each side. Last one. And then just gently hug those knees in, either stay still, gently rock from side to side. And then very slowly just roll to one side, crawl yourselves all the way up. Open the eyes if they've been closed. And then from here, we're going to meet up in tabletop. Once you get to tabletop, set your base. Shoulders are stacked over the wrists. Knees are underneath the hips. Lovely long spine. Pelvis is in neutral. Shoulder blades are on the back of the rib cage. Check that the neck's in line with the rest of the spine. Gently draw the lower ribs in to activate the core. Tuck the right toes. Slide that right leg out nice and long. Slide it back in. Slide it out nice and long. Slide it back in. Checking that the hips are staying level. Sliding out for 3. Slowly back in. Sliding out for 4. Slowly come back in and then step that right foot between the hands. Lengthen the spine. Slowly come all the way up to kneeling crescent. Checking that the right knee's roughly in line with that right ankle and the left knee's roughly underneath that left hip. Check that the pelvis is neutral. Shoulder rolls. Hands can be on the shoulders, the fingertips pointing down towards the floor. Just gently circle the shoulders, forward or back, doesn't matter which direction you start in. And then slowly change direction. And then take a nice deep breath in, float the arms, fingertips all the way up to the ceiling. Check that you're not allowing the lower ribs to flare out. Nice long inhale. As you exhale, bring the right hand to the right thigh. Left hand comes down to the mat. Shoulders over that left wrist. Maybe heel toe that right foot out a little bit. And then a nice easy rotation to the right. Allow the left ear to drop down towards that left shoulder. I'm just gazing down at my right foot, but you can just gaze at the mat. A few deep breaths here. And then slowly place the right hand down on the inside of the right foot. Slowly bring the right leg back. Set yourselves up for tabletop. Shoulders are over the wrists. Spread the fingers wide. Push down through the finger pads. Draw the lower ribs in. Activate the core. Tuck the toes. Check that the hips are level. Slide that left leg out nice and long. You're on your toes. Slide it back in. Slide it out nice and long. Check that the hips are level. Slide it back in. 2 more. 1 more. And then slide it back in. Step that left foot all the way in between the hands. Slowly come all the way up to your kneeling crescent. Check your base. Check the pelvis. This time we're going to make our shoulder rolls a little bit bigger. I'm going to roll them back. So you can bring the hands to your shoulders and make bigger movements. Or you can just have them loose at the side. Really start to get those shoulder blades moving. You can do them both arms at a time. You can do them single arm, whichever feels comfortable for you this evening. And then on your next inhale, slowly float the arms, fingertips all the way up to the ceiling. Check that the lower ribs aren't flaring out. Check that that pelvis is still in neutral. And on your next exhale, left hand, left thigh, right hand comes down to the mat, right shoulder over the right wrist, heel toe that left foot out. Allow that right ear to drop down towards that right shoulder, nice easy rotation. Space between the body and the left thigh. A few deep breaths here, making sure you're leaning back into that right shoulder blade. You're not allowing that shoulder to drop into the center line. And then placing that hand in between the inside of that left foot. Slowly come back to tabletop. Tuck the toes, spread the fingers wide. A few deep breaths here, drawing the lower ribs in so the core's activated. Inhale. Slowly exhale out through the mouth. And then slowly either walk the hands back so that the hips are on the heels, or come to kneeling. Extend the arms out so they're roughly in line with the shoulders. Flex both hands, the fingertips are pointing up towards the ceiling. You can stay here, stretching out your lower arms, or you can bring the left fingertips to the right hand and pull back gently. And release, flex both hands. Maybe the right hand's coming toward the left fingertips. Nice and easy. Bring the palms together, interlace the fingers, slowly circle out those wrists. Change direction. And release, come back to your tabletop, set your base. Wrists are underneath the shoulders, spread the fingers wide, tuck the toes, come into your first down dog. So gently lift the hips up and back, check that your core is activated. And our first down dog, just soften those knees, check that the weight's even between the hands and the feet, armpits are nice and long. Check that you're piking the hips up, making that inverted V. And then soften those knees a little bit more, head and neck are nice and relaxed. And we're pushing up through the arms, up through the legs. A few deep breaths here. And then maybe sway the hips from side to side, or maybe just stay nice and still, whichever's going to work for you this evening. And then remember, any time during our practice, if you need to modify, if you need to come down and rest, please do so. And then come to stillness, take a nice long inhale, slowly exhale out through the mouth. Slowly start to lower the knees to the floor. Step the right foot in between the hands, slowly come into your kneeling crescent, left foot's tapped. Reach the fingertips all the way up to the ceiling. Check that that pelvis is in neutral. And as you exhale, bring the palms together, bring the hands down through to heart center. Keep the core activated. On your next inhale, allow that inhale and the strength of the legs and the core to allow you to come all the way up. Lengthen out that right leg, fingertips up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, soften into your crescent. Check your base. Do your feet need to be wider apart? Maybe a little bit closer. Is that pelvis in neutral? If it isn't, maybe you need to shorten your stance. Maybe you need to bend that left leg a little bit more. And then just bring the awareness to the breath, the air flowing in and out the nose. You can soften the elbows, you can soften the fingers. Shoulder blades are staying elevated, but you can think about relaxing the shoulders, but don't force the shoulder blades down. Take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, bring the hands down together through to heart center and slowly allow the left knee to come down towards the floor. Keep that toe tucked on the back foot. On your next exhale, right hand, right thigh, left hand mat, left shoulder over the left wrist, maybe heel toe that foot out slightly. Nice easy rotation. Allow the left ear maybe to come down towards that left shoulder. You can stay here or you can open out the right arm, fingertips towards the ceiling. You're making sure you're leaning back into that back, into the shoulder blades. Head and neck are nice and relaxed. And on your next exhale, right hand comes down to the floor next to that right foot. And then slowly bring that right leg back, lengthen it out, allow the right toes to touch the floor. Check your position, so check that the hips are level, shoulders are over the wrist, activate the core. Squeeze that right glute to allow the right toes to float off the floor. Remember, we're creating length, not height. You can either stay here or slide the left hand out, maybe come up onto the fingertips, spider hands, or maybe lift the arm off the floor. So you're coming into your Superman, some people call these bird dogs, holding it here. And on your next exhale, slowly come back to tabletop. Both toes are tucked, activate the core, push the hips up and back, down dog. Once you get to your down dog, check your base, spreading the fingers wide. Long armpits. Check that you're making that inverted V. Now bend both knees and then slowly lengthen out the right leg. Hold it there. Slowly bend the right leg, lengthen out the left. Bend the left. You're just going to carry on. Right lengthen, right soften, left lengthen, left soften, right lengthen, right soften, left lengthen, right soften. Hold it there. And on your next exhale, slowly lower the knees to come all the way to the floor. Step the left foot forward, tuck the right toes, slowly come all the way up. Fingertips all the way up to the ceiling, kneeling crescent. Check that pelvis is in neutral. The right toes are tucked. Next exhale, slowly bring the palms together, hands down through to heart center. Check that the core's activated. Next inhale, slowly come all the way up, lengthen that left leg, arms along. And as you exhale, slowly lower back to your crescent. Check your base, adjust the stance if you need to. Check that the pelvis is in neutral. Making sure that right glute is activated. And breathe. Once again, the elbows can be soft, the fingers can be soft. And on your next exhale, palms come together down through to heart center. Slowly lower that right knee down towards the floor. Hold it here. And on your next exhale, just going to hinge forward. That left hand's coming onto that left thigh. The right hand's coming down towards the mat. Right shoulder in line with that right wrist. Maybe heel toe that left foot away a little bit. Relaxing the neck. So maybe the right ear's come down towards the right shoulder. Nice easy rotation. Option to stay here or to lengthen out that left arm, left fingertips towards the ceiling. Checking that you're leaning back into those shoulder blades, into that back, rather than dipping that right shoulder forward. Next exhale, left hand comes in by that left foot. Slowly bring that left leg back so it's lengthened with the toes touching the floor. Check your base, shoulders over the hips, maybe adjust that right knee, activate the core. Activate that left glute, raise the left toes off the floor. Going for length rather than height, check that the hips are level. Slide that right hand out, maybe come up onto the finger pads. Maybe bring that right hand off the floor. Keeping the left glute activated, keep the core activated. And then just bring your awareness to the breath. And on your next exhale, slowly come back to tabletop. Toes are tucked, core's activated, down dog. And in this down dog, you can either sway your hips from side to side, you can stay still, you can bend and lengthen one leg at a time like we did earlier. Whichever feels comfortable for you today. I'm just going to enjoy the nice long stretch. Take a nice long inhale. And on your next exhale, slowly bring the knees down towards the floor. Allow the hips to float all the way back to the heels. Arms are nice and long. Keep the upper body and the head off the floor. Push down through the hands, your palms. Imagine that you're pulling the mat back towards you. And maybe feel that stretching. I can feel it stretching down here where my lats are on my back. Check that the neck's still in line with the rest of the spine. And on your next inhale, slowly come all the way up to tabletop. Tuck your toes, exhale, down dog. And then once again in this down dog, just do whatever feels comfortable for you. Maybe stay still, maybe sway the hips from side to side, maybe walk that dog out, softening and lengthening one leg at a time. And then come to stillness. Take a really long inhale. Slowly exhale out through the mouth. Lower the knees to the floor. Bring the right foot in between the hands and then slowly come all the way up to kneeling crescent, fingertips up towards the ceiling. On your next exhale, bend the elbows, goddess arms. Inhale, rotate round to the right. Inhale, slowly rotate all the way round to the left. Exhale, rotate right. Inhale, left. Exhale, come back to center. Tuck the left toes if they're not already tucked. Activate the core. Slowly come all the way up. Lengthen the arms and lengthen the leg. And as you exhale, soften into crescent. Next exhale, bring your arms to goddess. Hold it here. Bring your awareness to your pelvis. Is it in neutral? Is that left glute on? Is your core activated? Inhale, lengthen the arms and the legs. Exhale, soften into crescent. Hold it here. And on your next exhale, slowly start to bend that left knee, lowering back down to your kneeling crescent. Inhale, rotate right. Exhale, left. Inhale, right. Exhale, left. Inhale, come back to center. On your next exhale, right hand, right thigh, left hand to the mat. That nice easy rotation. Relaxing the left ear down towards the left shoulder. Maybe gazing down at the mat or your foot. And you have the option of keeping the hand on the thigh or reaching the fingertips all the way up to the ceiling. Leaning back into that back, into those shoulder blades. Try not to let the left shoulder come into the center line. Space between the right thigh and the body. And then slowly bring the right hand to the right hip. Look down towards the mat in between the foot and the left hand. And then slowly push the left hip so it's roughly in line with that left knee. And slowly start to bring that right foot back, extending out the leg and opening out into a modified side plank. Right hand is on the hip, checking that shoulder, left shoulder over the left wrist, left knee underneath the left hip. And I have my right foot in contact with the floor. I'm still looking down towards the mat. My core still activated, and I've got my right glute activated as well. On your next exhale, allow the right hand to float back down towards the mat. Slowly come back down so both hips are square onto the mat, and then you're onto the right ball of your foot, Shoulders are over the wrist, core's activated. Activate the right glute, float the right toes off the floor. Then the left arm can stay on the mat or you can float it up, coming into Superman. Check that the hips are level. Slowly bring the left hand back underneath the shoulder. Allow the right toes to tap the floor. Slowly start to open out. Right hand on the hip, right hip, modified side plank. Check your base. Keep gazing down towards the mat and then maybe extend the right arm so the fingertips are pointing up towards the ceiling, or maybe the right hand is still on the right hips. Right glutes activated as well. And on your next exhale, allow the right hand to float back down to the mat, square off the hips, onto the right toes, shoulders are over the wrist. Activate the right glute, allow it to float off the floor, left arm, Superman. Check the breath. Slowly bring the left hand back down underneath the left shoulder, right toes touch the mat. Slowly open out, modified side plank. Hands are on the hips, the right hand, right hip. Look down towards the mat, check your base. Stay where you are or slowly extend the right fingertips up towards the ceiling. You can hold it here. You have the option of bringing the right foot off the floor. So the right ankle is roughly in line with that right hip. Just keep the right foot on the floor like I am. Checking with the breath. Making sure it's nice and slow and steady. And on your next exhale, slowly lower the right hand to touch down. Square off the hips, shoulders are over the wrists. Activate the core, the right glute. Slowly come into your Superman. Hold it here. And on your next exhale, slowly come all the way back to tabletop. Your option to either bring the hips back to the heels or come to kneeling. And let's just circle out the wrists before we repeat this on the left side. Maybe give them a shake. Might be a chance now to grab some water before we start again. We're all going to meet in tabletop. Activate the core, tuck both toes. Slowly push the hips up and back as you exhale, down dog. Check your base. Spreading the fingers wide. Weight even through both hands, both feet. Maybe soften those knees slightly. Check that you're making that inverted V, so you're piking the hips up. You can stay still, you can sway from side to side, or maybe walk that dog out, softening and lengthening one leg at a time. Take a nice long inhale. Slowly exhale out. Knees slowly come down towards the floor. Step the left foot in between the hands. Slowly bring the arms, fingertips up towards the ceiling. Check that the pelvis is in neutral. Next exhale, goddess arms. Inhale, rotate left. Exhale, right. Inhale, left. Exhale, right. Come all the way back round to center. Right toes are tucked. Activate the core. Slowly inhale all the way up. Lengthen the arms, lengthen the leg. And as you exhale, come down to your crescent. Check your base. Maybe adjust that front knee if you need to. Maybe adjust the width, the length. Check that that pelvis is in neutral. If it's not, maybe you need to slightly bend that right knee. And on your next exhale, slowly come down to goddess arms. Hold it here. Chest is open. Bring the focus to the breath. Inhale, lengthen the arms and the leg. Exhale, soften down to goddess. Holding it here. And on your next exhale, slowly start to lower that right knee down towards the floor, kneeling crescent. And on your next exhale, slowly rotate round to the left. Inhale, right. Exhale, right. Inhale, left. Exhale all the way back to center. And on your next exhale, left hand, left thigh. Right hand comes down towards the mat. Right shoulder over right wrist. Nice easy rotation. Maybe heel toe that left foot out slightly. Relaxing that right ear, maybe down towards the right shoulder. Just gaze down towards the floor if that feels comfortable. I'm just gazing at my left foot. And maybe extend the left fingertips all the way up to the ceiling. Check that you're leaning back into those shoulder blades. You're not allowing that right shoulder to dip in. And then from here, the left hand catches the left hip. Maybe you need to adjust that right knee so it's underneath the right hip. And then slowly start to open out into your modified side plank, checking that the shoulder's over the wrist. Adjust that knee if you need to. Left foot flat on the floor. Keep the left hand on the left hip. And just look down towards the mat. Core's activated. Left glutes activated. On your next exhale, left hand comes down. Square off those hips. Left toes in contact with the mat. Activate the glute. Activate the core. And then slowly bring the left foot off the floor. Slowly the right hand, if that feels comfortable for you. Superman. Just double check that that left glute is activated and your core is still activated and the hips are level. And on your next exhale, slowly bring the right hand back down. Slowly start to open out, right shoulder over right wrist. Left hand, left hip. Just relaxing that neck, maybe gaze down at the mat. Either keep the left hand on the left hip or maybe extend the arm up towards the ceiling. Left foot is still on the floor. Core should still be on. Right glute is on. Next exhale, left hand comes down towards the floor. Activate the core, squeeze the left glute. Your version of Superman, check that the hips are level. And then just check that that neck's still aligned with the rest of the spine, that you're not allowing that head to dip down. Next exhale, slowly bring left toes down, right hand down to the floor. Slowly start to open all the way out to your modified side plank. Check your base. Left hand, left hip. Right shoulder over right wrist. Just gaze down towards the floor. Maybe extend the left arm up towards the ceiling. And you have the option of floating that left leg off the floor. Or maybe join me keeping that left foot in contact with the floor. Next exhale, slowly lower the left hand, come all the way back round, check that the hips are level, Superman. Bring that left foot off the floor, maybe the right hand. Just double check that you're drawing the lower ribs in towards the center line and not allowing the lower ribs to flare out. Check that that left glute is on. And on your next exhale, slowly lower the right hand, right shoulder, left knee comes underneath left hips. Feet, tops of the feet flat on the floor, child's pose. So slowly bring the hips all the way back to the heels. Lower the lower arms to the floor. Keep the upper body off the floor and the head. And then slowly turn the palms to face the ceiling. Relax the fingers. So that neck is still in line with the rest of the spine. If you have a block, you can bring the block long ways up and you can just rest your forehead on your block like so. And then very slowly turn the lower arms down to the palms in contact with the floor. Just lengthen out those arms. Slowly float all the way up to tabletop. Tuck the toes. Slowly come all the way up to kneeling. Toes can stay tucked or you can place the tops of the feet flat on the floor. Slowly float the arms up, flex the hands, palms face away. You can stay here, or if you want to intensify the stretch in your lower arms, you can just bring the left hand to the right fingertips, gently pull back. And release. Flex both hands. Right hand can come to the left fingers. And release. Release the hands back down. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, reach the fingertips all the way up to the ceiling. And as you exhale, soften the elbows, come to goddess arms. And then just slowly, slowly, slowly release the arms all the way back down to the side of your legs. Inhale, reach all the way up. As you exhale, slowly start to soften those arms, goddess. And then slowly bring them all the way back round to the legs. Slowly inhale all the way up. Exhale, bend. And then slowly inhale the arms up. And then from here, bend to come into goddess arms. And then just gently bring the hands to the back, if this feels comfortable for your arms and your shoulders. Now you can stay here with the chest open. Activate the core. Activate the glutes so it just extend the hips. And then just come into a nice little back bend here. Nice baby camel. Check that you're not allowing that head to drop back. Just gazing forward. Just soften the gaze. Keep activating the glutes. And just check in with the breath. And then slowly release. And then from here, slowly hinge forward, come to tabletop, top the toes, slowly down dog. Lifting the hips up nice and high, the last down dog today. A few deep breaths here, checking that you're spreading the fingers wide, lengthen the armpits, weight even between both hands, both feet. So you're pushing up through the legs, up through the arms. So think about pushing up rather than pushing the chest through to the thighs. And there's no problem if those heels don't touch the floor, that is fine. Your heels may never ever touch the floor. Take a nice long inhale. And as you exhale, slowly lower the knees to the floor, cross the feet over at the ankles. Going to come down to lower. Guys, I just want to show you, once we're down on the floor, we're going to be doing your recline twist at some stage. I just want to let you know that for your recline twist, if you've got a cushion, when you come into it, you can just relax the arms in your cushion. We're not going to lengthen out our arms today. We're going to rest them on our bodies. So we're just going to give the shoulders a rest. You can use a cushion, or if you don't have a cushion, if you've got a block, you can just rest that knee on the block. So when you're ready, depending on how your back's feeling, you can sit up nice and tall. You can slowly curl down vertebrae by vertebrae and come down so that you're lying on your back. Feet are flat on the floor. Knees are bent. Feet about hip width apart. Just a few breaths here. And then very slowly float the right foot off the floor and hug that right leg in. And then very slowly start to extend that left leg out. So you're sliding the left heel along the mat. Allow the left leg to relax on the mat. Flex both feet. Upper body is nice and relaxed. We're coming into our reclined spinal twist. So if you need your block or a cushion to rest that leg on, that right leg, you can grab it now. And then very slowly, just use your hands, slowly start to bring that right leg, you're twisting over to the left. Maybe the right foot's resting lightly on that left thigh. Maybe you have the left upper arm on the floor and you can allow the knee to rest in the palm of the left hand. And then just gently bring that right arm up. So the hands resting on the thigh, the right lower arms just resting on the body, just relaxing that shoulder. Just keep the head in neutral. So you may find that you're on the side of your head slightly onto the left. Just soften the gaze or close the eyes. Just a few deep breaths here. Now you may find that you can take the cushion or adjust the block. You may find that you can twist over a little bit more now. Just try not to roll over onto the side, so you're still staying broad across the collarbone. So the chest is still open. And very, very slowly come all the way back up to center and then float that right foot back down towards the floor and then slowly slide that left leg in. Just pause here for a moment, or maybe just a gentle, easy windscreen wiping of the knees, just with a small range of movement. Slowly come back to center, slowly hug that left knee in. Slowly slide that right heel away from you, so you're lengthening out that right leg. Relax it against the mat, flex both feet. Coming into your spinal recline twist, so bringing the left knee over. You can use your block or your cushion, or you can use your right arm. So the right upper arm can be in contact with the floor, and you can just rest that left knee into the right hand. Left foot can be resting on that right thigh. And then just slide that left hand onto that right thigh, left lower arm, so you can just relax that left shoulder. Check that you're not rolling onto your side. Head's in neutral. So you may find that you're on the side of your right head. And then maybe you feel comfortable enough to take the cushion or the block away. Maybe the left foot can come onto the floor. And then very, very slowly come all the way back up to center. Allow the left foot to touch the floor. Slowly slide that right foot in. Maybe stay here for a moment, or maybe a gentle windscreen wiping of the knees. And come to center with your moving. And just gently bring the right knee in towards your body, left knee in towards your body. Your option here is to come into dead bugs, which I'm demonstrating now. Or you can bend the knees, reach for the outside edges of your feet and come into happy baby, trying to keep the tailbone on the floor. So you may need to hold the ankles or below the ankles onto your shin. Aiming the knees towards the armpits if you can, but try and keep the tailbone on the floor. Or just come into your dead bugs, whichever feels comfortable. Eyes can be closed or just soften that gaze. Just trying to relax the upper body. And just slowly release the feet. Slowly hug the knees in. Float the feet back down towards the floor. Lengthen the legs out. So maybe an idea now to grab your socks if you want to. Lengthen out your legs so the heels are coming down to the outside edges of the bottom of your mat. And then from here, extend the arms above your head if it feels comfortable for your shoulders. Right hand, left wrist are just below. Left hand, right wrist if that feels comfortable. Inhale to lengthen. As you exhale, just side bend over to the right. And then slowly slide that left foot over to the right foot, making a slight C shape, like a banana shape. You can stay here and enjoy that side opening down the left side of your body. You have the option of bringing the left foot over the right foot, only if that feels comfortable. The gaze can be soft or the eyes can be closed. Just nice and easy. Couple more breaths. And if the left foot is crossed over the right, just slowly bring it back to the mat. Slowly slide that left leg out to the outside edge. Slowly bring the body to the center. Pause here for a moment. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, side bend over to the left. And then maybe slide that right foot over to the left. Either stay here or you have the option of bringing the right foot onto the left. Nice easy stretch. The head and neck's nice and relaxed. Making that C shape, that banana shape. Just a nice easy stretch before we come into Shavasana, our final relaxation. Just a couple more breaths here. And if the right foot's crossed over the left, slowly place it back onto the mat. Slide that right foot back to the outside edge, that outside corner of your mat. Come back to center, release the arms down towards the floor. Palms facing the ceiling. Now, if you feel uncomfortable having your Shavasana with the legs extended, you can bend the knees so the feet are flat on the floor. You can allow the knees to fall in together or maybe curl up onto one side in the fetal position and use your lower arms as a pillow. Just allow the whole backside of your body to relax down to the mat. Your fingers are soft. Your shoulder blades are in contact with the mat, the back of your head, the back of your hips, the heels. And then just inhale for 2 and exhale for 4. Inhale for 2, exhale for 4. Check that the toes are soft. Inhale for 2, exhale for 4. Soften the forehead. Inhale for 2, exhale for 4. Soften the space between the eyebrows. Relax the jaw. Inhale for 2, exhale for 4. Allow the tongue to fall away from the roof of the mouth. Inhale for 2, exhale for 4. Soften the chest and the ribcage. Inhale for 2, exhale for 4. Just soften the belly and the hips, the front of the thighs. Inhale for 2, exhale for 4. Softening the lower legs, the feet. Just allow the breath to soften. Just allow the whole of your body to melt down to the mat, to the ground below. Just rest, deep rest. Slowly start to bring awareness back to your body. Awareness to the sensation of the air against your skin. Bring awareness to your belly and your chest, rising and falling with each breath. And slowly start to soften the right knee, start to slide that right heel into the right foot flat on the floor. Slowly start to soften in that left knee, start to slowly slide that left heel in so the left foot's flat on the floor. And then either stay here or maybe float the right foot off the floor, right knee in towards the body, left knee in towards the body. And either stay nice and still, gently roll from side to side, nice and easy, nice and slow. And very slowly roll to whichever side feels comfortable for you, keeping the eyes closed. Very, very slowly make your way up to an easy cross-legged. And once you get there, check that the seat bones are in contact with the floor, the weight nice and even, lovely long spine, crown of the head up towards the ceiling, Hands can be either on the knees or hands can be on the feet. And then slowly bring the awareness to the breath flowing in and out of the nose. Slowly bring the palms together and bring the hands through to heart center and allow the thumbs to connect to your heartbeat. And then slowly bow the head. Take a nice long inhale. Nice long easy exhale out through the mouth. 2 more. Last one. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you find peace within. Thank you very much for sharing your practice with me this evening. From my heart to yours, thank you, thank you, thank you. Slowly start to blink your eyes open so you're gazing at your fingertips. And then just very slowly bring your head up. Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. I'm very